Welcome to Math 31 notes for section 7.4, and in this section we'll learn about congruent triangles and similar triangles. Start with congruent triangles. Triangles are congruent when they're both the same size and the same shape. And in practice that means the angles are all equal, at least they pair up in equal pairs, and the side lengths also pair up in equal pairs, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, first of all, we're going to look at the angles here, and you may notice that angle C up here, let me change to a smaller pen here. Angle C is the same angle measure as angle F. They're roughly 90 degrees, and I've marked them as being congruent to each other. So we've got angle C equal to angle F, and then we have a little sharp angle here, angle A, and that would equal, if you look at the how open that angle is, it's the same openness or spread as angle E. I think those are about, I would guess, around 30 degrees each. So angle A is equal in measure to angle E. And then finally, angle B and angle D, those are both about, I would guess, 60 degrees. So angle B and angle D. So there's three pairs of angles that match up, degree measure equal to degree measure on each pair. Okay, now the side lengths. The longest side is AB, and it is the same length as DE. So AB is the same length as DE. Now we don't actually know the measurements, but these are congruent triangles. It tells us that. And so we have to have equal side lengths. Okay, now the shortest side would be CB, and over here DF. So CB is equal in length to DF. Okay, and then finally AC and EF are the same length. They might both be 4 inches long, for instance. EF and FE are both the same thing. Okay, so what we have here is three pairs of sides and three pairs of angles first that are congruent or equal to each other, and three pairs of sides that are also equal or congruent. Now, there are some shortcuts here. You don't actually need to show all 6 of those pairs being equal to know that the triangles are congruent. And there's some shortcuts. One is to prove that all 3 sides of one are equal to all 3 sides of the other, at least they pair up. So if we can do that, then we can assume that the angles also work. So these two 9-inch sides are equal. JK is equal to UV. They're both 9 inches. And I'll go to the medium length side next. There's a 12-inch side there and a 12-inch side there, so those are the same length, JL and TU. And then finally KL is 15 inches, and the other over there, TV, is also 15 inches. So KL equals either TV or VT. Okay, now we haven't said anything about the angles, but if you have 3 sides of one that pair up equal to 3 sides of the other, then the angles follow. So for instance, if this is a 90-degree corner, that angle J, then you know that angle U is also a 90-degree corner. And this sharp angle here, I'm going to just guess is 25 degrees. So angle T would also be 25 degrees. Now we didn't prove that, but we did. If you have 3 sides that are equal like this, then the angles follow. There's another shortcut, and this one is to have 2 sides and the angle that's in between them. Side angle side is what this is called. So you can see I know 2 side lengths here, and I'll use different colors to show the pairs that are equal. And then the angle that's between them is also equal, And in this case, side angle side, we then can conclude that the rest of the sides and angles are pair up as being equal to each other. So these are congruent by the side angle side theorem. Now it's very important that you take the two sides that are mentioned and you make sure that the angles in between those or it's actually formed by those two sides. So the angle measure has to be sandwiched between the two sides you know. Okay, next. Oh, I'm sorry, there's more on this page. Okay, the third way of proving it is angle side angle. And in this case, you're looking for two angles with a side that's shared by them. So two sides and an angle, and I'm sorry, two angles and a side, angle side angle. And let me show you the pairings here. These two angles match, and then these two sides match, and finally these two angles match. And what we have here is an angle and then a side and an angle, ASA. And these triangles are congruent. So once you know that, then you can go the rest of the way and say, for instance, angle H and angle Q would be equal also. Okay, determine whether each pair of triangles are congruent. Let's see here. I can see a matching 20 with a 20. Those are congruent. Now, a mathematician or somebody who's teaching geometry would do that, just to indicate that they're the same length. I see another pair that are the same, 35 inches on both of those. But then you have the fly in the ointment. 28 inches does not match that 25 inches. So these are not congruent. They may look the same shape and same size, but they're not. The angles are slightly different, and the side length, we know that's different because the 25 and the 28 are not the same. But on this one here, you've got a 6 that matches, and we'll just mark that side like that. Those are the same length. That's what that mark means. The 7-inch or 7-meter lengths are also equal, and the 10-meter lengths are also equal. And this is an example of congruent triangles by side, side, side. Three sides of one, side, side, and side, are equal to three sides of the other one. Okay, I'll do two more of these examples, and then we'll turn our attention in the second installment of this video to similar triangles, which are a little different. Okay, this one here, we've got a side and then an angle and then a side that match. Let me show you the matching sides. Sides match, angles match, and then immediately another side matches. So as you're going around this thing, you have a side and then an angle and then a side. So these are congruent by side, side, side. I'm sorry, by side, angle, side. Okay, and the last one, I think we've got congruent angle there, congruent angle down here, and then the side between them. So that's angle, side, angle. So what we conclude here is that these are the same shape and the same size. So for instance, this blank angle down here and this blank angle down here would also be equal to each other, even though we didn't know that at the start of the problem. Okay, so that does it for congruent triangles, and we'll pick up in the next video with this section here, similar triangles. I think it should read B here. We'll start there. Okay, so we're going to look at similar triangles in installment 2 of this video.